PhD as a means of intellectual transformation. In this episode, I will talk about this, discussing doctoral education as a means for transforming oneself intellectually, cognitively, and serving doctoral education not only for science, but also for personal development, self-improvement, and cognitive discoveries. First of all, and doctoral education has so many advantages for the mind, for the human mind to develop. But before delving into this, I would like to highlight the social contribution of doctoral thesis that each candidate that completes adds that contribution to society, to the field. For example, when a person completes a PhD in medicine, it's a contribution to medical sciences. So it's not just a study, it's not just the pinnacle of intellectual achievement, but a serious, weighty contribution to the field and to, in a broader sense, to society. Returning to the intellectual dimension of PhD, first of all type of education is a contribution to one's cognition. When cognition develops, it comes to develop the metacognitive skills, the higher level. Education is a key aspect in this. And when it comes the higher academic degree, PhD, everything turns into transformation, intellectual transformation. The term suggests doctoral education's connection with philosophy. It means doctor of philosophy, but no matter it's in physics, it's in mathematics, it's in medicine or literature, it is called doctor of philosophy. So as philosophy is described as the mother of the sciences, a common view that is associated with Aristotle, it hugely is interconnected with the idea that philosophy is a foundational thing, foundational field for all sciences. So in a broader term, doctoral education, first of all, develops your mind. So human's mind becomes more intellectually flexible, worldview broadens, mental horizon broadens, and when cognition is enhanced, everything you can see on a broader spectrum. So your spectrum of seeing the world, your prism of seeing the world broadens when your mental horizon is broadened. And doctoral education has a unique advantage in this. But I would also like to highlight that this kind of intellectual achievement in terms of self-development doesn't always necessarily require PhD. You can also reach it through informal education, for example, through self-directed research, etc. Because doctoral education, while is a cornerstone of intellectual achievement, it doesn't necessarily in all cases mean that you have gone through that intellectual transformation. So it sometimes varies. It's not a guarantee. It's not a guaranteed achievement of cognition, but chances are higher than one might think. The next dimension but before continuing these points, I would like to define actually what intellectual transformation means. It's a term that each one may interpret differently. We should understand what is intellect and what is transformation for understanding them as compound words. Human intellect is the representation of one's cognitive power, and transformation is a major change that may happen in different spheres, from politics, from arts, sciences, etc. So intellectual transformation means when you can have major development intellectually, and PhD is one of the cornerstones in that journey. Another dimension that PhD can transform one's mind refers to research background. Doing research, especially interdisciplinary research in recent years, it's it's quite demanded in sciences and even an advantage because one field may not answer the same way with the same rigor to complex societal challenges as if it's done collectively. So interdisciplinarity gives your mind flexibility, diversity, epistemic diversity, and methodological rigor. And your mind becomes more flexible, cognitively more trained for complex themes and analysis. So it's a great, great contribution to your own mind, to your own thinking. And since society consists of individuals, you are contributing to yourself, you're contributing to society as well. And nations on a broader scope consist of societies. So you are on a broader term, your contribution would be valuable to civilizations, also to civilizations. So doctoral education or PhD brings intellectual transformation also through another dimension. It enhances your self-awareness. The more knowledge you have, the more analysis you take through complex problems, scientific problems, your analytical thinking skills develop, your cognitive reasoning, your critical reasoning skills develop, and you can better understand yourself. It enhances your self-awareness. And better understanding yourself better may help you better understand others. So it's a multilateral, multidimensional contribution to your own self and to your own mind. And since the philosophy of the mind is one of the key aspects in recent years in cognitive science, it suggests that a human mind is truly a kind of mystery, and it's like an enigma, not easily solvable. But when you have an intellectual foundation as a PhD, you already you are already ahead of yourself, I'd say, because you have many important tools to better understand yourself. You learn how to bridge theoretical knowledge with practical knowledge, because in your thesis in your dissertation, a doctoral dissertation, you should not only write theoretical things but also offer solution to the problem you have chosen, and that solution is already applied science, applied practical knowledge. So you learn to bridge theoretical knowledge with practical one. Also, in recent years, it is highly recommended and applied, especially through interdisciplinarity scope, to bridge academic knowledge with experience-based knowledge, trying to bridge the gap between academic research and social affairs. And that's another important thing. Actually, a PhD has so many advantages for intellectual transformation, but this much for this video. But the term may be widely can be continued to so it's exploration on other dimensions, like how can PhD contribute to society, how can PhD transform lives, having like creating a public good. It's a discussion for another topic. And as I personally value PhD so much given my interdisciplinary research. Although I don't have formal training in PhD, I haven't applied any programs, but actually I value it very much. And since I co-author papers with professors and PhD holders while developing knowledge, developing through my knowledge project, the Essence of Knowledge Initiative, I practice, I feel that intellectual transformation only with through working with PhD holders and professors. That's really a great experience as an independent researcher. So to sum up, PhD is a highly valuable thing, not only for career development, for social contribution, but also in starting from and maybe ending from to that, in terms of your own cognitive development, your own intellectual transformation. PhD is a path to knowledge, is a path to create, evaluate, and distribute knowledge, as well as bridging academic knowledge with experience-based knowledge. This much for this episode, and thank you for watching.